Grzyby, or Mushrooms would be the English title, I believe. A new Polish film out in theaters, directed by Paweł Borowski, whose previous movie, Ja teraz kłamię, was one of my favorites of 2019. I know not a lot of people have seen it, and a lot of those that didn't like it, but for me it was an incredibly unique and well-made movie. Which makes my disappointment all the more bitter after seeing this, because this has to be one of the most staggering drops in quality between two subsequent projects of the same director that I've seen in a long time. The film starts with an old grandma walking around the forest, foraging for mushrooms, berries, removing animal traps out of the way, and in general just enjoying her life in the quiet of nature. Until she stumbles upon two strange young people, a man and a woman dressed in these weird medieval royalty clothes. They quickly explain that they had a party the previous night with their friends who work at a theater. They got blackout drunk, and as a prank, they were taken out to the forest in these theater clothes with no money or documents, but now they can't find their way out. The grandma reluctantly agrees to help, and the three of them go on their way. But of course, it's apparent that there's more to this than meets the eye. So there's several problems that I have with the film. First of all, the pacing. The movie is only 75 minutes long, which is incredibly short nowadays, and yet it feels like it's twice as much because it drags forever. It's a collection of glacially slow scenes, which tease that there's a secret twist to the situation until the movie finally reaches the end and makes the reveal. The whole way through, I was thinking, just get to the point already. And I firmly believe that this entire thing would be a good idea for a little 10-minute short student film, but stretched to over an hour, it just lacks the material to sustain itself. Secondly, the twist itself. I think it's one of those ones that make you think the filmmakers must have been super proud of themselves for coming up with such a sick reveal. But you're just sitting there going, okay, I guess. And the execution is rather poor, I must say, because at the very end, the movie also has several of these text screens like you would have at the end of a documentary explaining what happened later. This one has text fields giving you information, some additional context, let's say, not to spoil too much, and some additional info. And the last one just says, we don't know if this story really happened, but it could have. I was like, no, just don't. If that's what you're going to say, just don't say anything. It feels juvenile. And three, I didn't like the performances. I mean, while Maria Mai is pretty good as the grandma and clearly the most experienced actor in the film, the other two, Paulina Walędziak and Jędrzej Bigosiński, come off as stiff, wooden, and unconvincing. They have the same problem that 95% of Polish movies in general have for me, which is that all the dialogue comes off as incredibly sterile and theatrical and stagey, nothing like in real life. So I'm not impressed there. And yeah, not much else to say really. I don't really want to get into the technical aspects because there's not a lot to say. It's a pretty simple film on that front. I do maintain what I said before. This could have worked as a short film with better actors, but the way that it is actually executed, it kind of sucks.